Hello, welcome to What Am I Doing, the Dungeons & Dragons podcast where one experienced dungeon master and one failed scriptwriter discuss D&D topics. My name is Kinsey, and my ridiculously inadequate pod partner is Lewis McCaffery. I fucking did it in one.
I am
and I didn't really read it.
I'm so impressed. I think that's one of the first times you've said it with no struggle.
Yeah, I do have something to admit.
Oh.
I have been practicing it fully clothed in the shower.
I wondered what I was
13
saying.
days.
Were you singing it? Because I'm sure that's what I heard.
No, that was cries.
Oh, okay.
Different pitches.
Yeah.
Testing out the room.
Yeah, I mean we've all been there. Crying to podcasts in the shower.
It's true. Okay, how's your week been?
It's been alright,
Long?
yeah.
Long?
I say long. I had Monday to Wednesday off. Obviously Monday bank holiday, but
Beautiful.
Yeah. So along 2 days. It feels like I've been
weekend
all
off.
week
Off.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Hard.
What about you?
Yeah, I worked.
Okay, yeah, fair enough.
Fun, yeah. That was I cried.
Okay.
Fully clothed in the shower.
Fair enough.
Testing the vocals.
Fair enough. I mean,
who
doesn't shower fully clothed? I mean,
exactly.
Washing your clothes and yourself all at once.
There's one thing that I do miss about work when I do have time off though, like the bank holiday, is just being given work.
Okay.
Just, a brief.
Yeah, I can just give you stuff to do if you want next time you have a day off.
You could almost say it was like you give me a quest. Can you guess what the topic is this week?
It's got to be something like weather or something now that you've said quest.
It sure isn't. It's quests.
Oh, fair enough.
Let's get to it. Okay, so today's episode is on quests. Are only nobles allowed to hand out quests to adventurers? Good, yep.
No.
Okay. Does the peasant deserve your attention as a goodwill gesture? If not, why are you classist? Cool. Where are you going?
What?
Exactly. They were the weird questions. Let's get to the weirdest question. Lewis.
Hello.
I've been trapped in a madman's basement for 10 years due to the inability to walk or talk.
Okay.
And you've just stumbled across me whilst checking his plumbing.
Oh, okay.
What are you doing? What am I doing?
Well, I would assume that if I'm checking his plumbing, that he can't afford to pay me, so he's coming up with some other method of payment. And I see you and assume that you're the payment.
Oh, Jesus Christ. I was going to say, why do you assume that plumbing was literal? But then you've gone on to use me as the unliteral plumbing anyway.
Well, exactly, yeah. So that is exactly what... Or should I say, you are what I am doing in this situation.
I need a... Okay, let's get to it. You are invited to attend... sorry, let me scrap that.
Okay.
Let me scrap that. And we'll keep it in. Got some... I'm trying to be less... Okay, yeah. Okay, what types of quests do we expect to see on low-level adventures? And how does that differ from levels 15 to 20, for example? So low-level, and then let's have a summary of that, and then like how that's so different to the later levels.
I think one of the biggest differences between low-level quests and high-level quests is knowing the full story, if that makes sense. Okay. So, let's say Fandelver, for example. If you start at level 1, the first quest you're given is to escort a wagon to Phandalin.
Been there.
Yeah, exactly.
Always failed.
Yeah, which, spoilers, goes wrong. And then that quest leads on to fighting goblins and bugbears and potentially wolves and things like that. So, at a lower level, I feel like you're more likely to stumble onto more progression, whereas if you're level 15 to 20, for example, the quests you'll be receiving are things like there's a boss over here you need to defeat, or there's some massive criminal underworld you need to find. You know what I mean? They're more at a higher level with a more experienced party, especially. You're more likely to know what you're kind of getting yourself into, whereas low level, I feel like there's more room to
sense of adventure.
Yeah,
sense of adventure, and then high levels. It's a bit more focused in what you're doing.
Exactly, yeah.
More targeted.
It doesn't always have
specific goals.
Yeah, it doesn't always have to be the case, but I feel like that's one of the main ones.
Okay. Yeah.
Well, what do you think's the difference?
No, I think that's right. I mean, I was going to be very literal. I was going to be like, well, obviously higher level enemies, bigger risk because of it, probably higher reward.
Not always a higher level enemy, because I mean, there's nothing. There are a few things more fun in D&D than being level 20 and finding a measly goblin and showing it who's boss.
We really are going on about class again.
Exactly.
It's in the title. Yeah,
exactly.
He's the guy who kills the peasant for no reason. Okay. Can you describe a couple of quest types that we expect to see, and would you like some help?
The help. Is that just for the question or just life in general?
No, we'll get into that. Okay. Help is actually one of them. It comes into it. Well, so we have fetch. Someone says, "Can you go get this for me?" Then you can check my plumbing. Deliver. Can you deliver this to me? We've got. Can you kill this for me?
Yeah.
Kill. Defend. Needing to protect an area. Information. Going like gathering information.
Kind of thing,
that's what I've got here, but I think there's a couple more.
Oh yeah, there's loads that you can expand into. Like even like a rescue. There can be rescue missions. Like it kind of the. Scout or the information kind of one, but you could be doing a murder mystery or helping with a town's criminal trial, for example, finding evidence. There can be all sorts, really.
Cool.
Yeah.
Okay. Does identity of the quest giver matter? I thought this was quite a good one because you just kind of take it for granted, I think, but maybe from a DM perspective, the reason why you've selected it is not as not such an unconscious choice as you'd expect. You probably have you probably subconsciously thought about it.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it doesn't always matter, because it could literally be someone's brother has been kidnapped, you need to find them, and then in that case whoever gave you the quest doesn't really matter in the grand scheme of things. But I think
if it was someone's brother, the brother gave you the quest.
Yeah.
So that is important for the quest to make sense.
Kind of, yeah.
It's more important now, right? Say I go, oh, this guy's brother's missing. That could be anyone. But if it's the brother going, can you help find my brother?
Yeah.
That's actually a conscious decision. And it feels a bit more like the reward could be bigger.
Yeah.
Because it's more heartfelt, more important.
Okay, let's scrap that. Someone saying that guy's brother is missing.
That kind of shit. Fair enough.
But there are more... I think the good thing about... or the good and annoying thing about players in D&D is that they will always be suspicious and they will always ask. So let's say... or ask questions. Let's say you're given a quest to go and find some incredibly powerful artifact, and the person who gave you the quest is the owner of a museum that just wants to put it in there. That party is almost certainly going to question whether this quest giver is evil. Right. And will try and keep it from themselves or question them, or in a lot of cases probably beat them beyond an inch of their life.
Do you think that's specifically because of the quest giver or with the quest?
A bit of both. I mean, like the quest giver...
I mean, D&D players will be D&D players.
Exactly.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah, I think no matter what it is, if it's an incredibly powerful item or if it's just 100 gold, or, people will question the quest giver at almost any opportunity. So, in those cases, I think as a player, it doesn't always matter, but a DM almost always. It will matter because...
So, yeah, it does matter.
Yeah.
It does matter. Okay. Does gold have to be the reason we go on an adventure?
Oh, no. It definitely doesn't. I mean, we've seen in a certain West Matches server that for a lot of people it does, because we'd be running...
they care about.
Yeah, we'd be running quests, and then before we even ran it, people would message us saying, "What's the gold reward?"
I'll give you a tip now. As a DM, if you have players ask you what the gold reward is, drop the players, because at that point, and I've learnt this from a year of running on Dungeons and Dragons on a West Match server, you will put a lot of creativity into your work.
Yeah.
Especially as a server like that, because it's not a manual you're reading from, it's homebrew. And no one cares. They just want the reward.
Yeah.
So try to not have those players. If it's like a server of, I'm rolling a session on a Wednesday, these players sign up, make an excuse to get out of it. I'm not joking. You'll be
disappointed.
You'll be deflated. They don't care. They just want the reward. And if you are the players that think that way, try to think more. Try to think more about what your character would want, and not what you just want to get stuff to be your character. You shouldn't be playing your character, in my opinion, to be the best. You should be playing your character quest-wise as well, so this does come back to what the character is trying to achieve in life. Like you would in real life, what are you trying to achieve? What's your hobbies? How would you make that your career? And it's the same thing.
Yeah, if you are a character that does just want to get rich, fair enough. But there's no reason that the player should be asking that, the DM.
Yeah, 100%. You're asking in advance of the session, you suck.
Yeah,
you suck.
But no, it doesn't always have to be the reward. It can be anything. It can be gold, items, titles. It could be the promise of aid in a battle. It could literally be, if you're a party of good aligned characters, then the simple reward would be just being able to help someone. Obviously, a lot of players won't see it that way, but that's good enough for a lot of people.
I think also if you've got a good character and you've really developed an opinion of how they would act, sometimes it can be simple as, I just want to do good by people, possibly like a paladin or something. But also really knowing your character and what their wants and needs are, bad or good. There could be there's a lot more to it as to why you're doing it. Do you know what I mean? You're actually you're only going on the quest because you know of something that's happening on the quest, or you probably go on the quest. You say yes because of the gold, but you're actually after the artifact that guy wants. Or these kind of things are really, I think, from a playing perspective as a player, really important to think about, because that's how your character direction works in the session then, and how you respond to other players and NPCs.
Yeah, I think again it can vary as well between levels. So levels 1 to 5, gold is often what you'll be given the most, but at level 15 to 20, let's say if you're nearing an end of a campaign, like Curse of Strahd for example, if you're getting ready to fight Strahd and you help someone out and they promise that they'll be your ally, then that is beneficial. Far more valuable than any gold.
Yeah. Okay. Do we need quest givers for campaigns?
As in for the campaign as a whole, or at all?
Well, throughout, because West March's server, you're essentially every session you're doing, or one shot. Obviously, that's different because you probably won't play the same character again, or less likely. But you're doing the session; it's a quest and it's done, it's resolved. But for a campaign, we know, for instance, with Lost Mines, you are given the quest to defend this wagon. Gets done. You end up it becomes elaborate adventure. Do we come across anyone in that, for example, that also gives a quest out?
There are the odd person here and there, mainly in the town of Phandalin. So you can include them.
Little side quests.
Yeah, they're not. I wouldn't say they're crucial. I'd say they are important though, because I think having quest givers for side quests and other things like that, it just helps to build the world. Because you could have a full campaign that lasts over a year, that you get one quest at the beginning. It doesn't even have to be by a quest giver. And then you just go all the way through. It's like, for example, Baldur's Gate. If you ignore any NPC and you just go about it, there's no quest giver there. You get the tadpole, you go through the story to try and cure yourself. It's like that. Like,
still doable.
Yeah, a campaign is doable without using any of them.
Arguably then, and it's the same for a homebrew campaign, you are just losing, unless it's forced on you by DM, I suppose, which I do that to you guys all the time. Arguably then, it could be very passive, except the one quest, but you as a person outside the game, are losing a lot of playability, definitely. A lot of experiences. Not even gaining experience and rewards, but you're also losing a lot of the world.
Well, exactly. Yeah. There's so many. There'd be so many missed opportunities if you just had no quest givers. And like I said, the world would probably just feel empty, because if no one in the world has got a quest, it's like,
maybe then it's just say like a free parter. Something like this, where it's just a couple of sessions, like a couple of one shots that kind of grouped up, and you can see the end goal pretty quickly. And you don't need a second quest.
At that point, you're basically playing a simulator. You're not playing D&D.
Well, we're all playing a simulator.
It's called life.
It's true. Okay, so today's adventure is sadly coming to a close. We are back again next week with the topic: if I eat a bowl of lemons and then put my hands in a socket, will I conduct electricity?
I hope so, because that's what I'm doing after this.
And as always, thank you for tuning in. And if you'd like to join in on the D&D action, then please follow us on Instagram and TikTok at WhatAmID&D, or check out the link in our bio to join our Discord server.
Our Disco
server, where we are very humble and we talk all the time. It's booming. It's not dead.
It's great. It's very much alive.
It's beautiful. I've been Connor Kinsey.
I've been Lewis McCaffery.
Good day.
Goodbye.